So Treyarch over on the channel have just uploaded a brand new video talking about everything that we're going to be getting in Season 4. What I've done in this video is taken all of the zombies portion, where they talk about the new Outbreak Easter egg quest, the brand new zombies map. There is a load of interesting info in here. So just sit back, take it all in, enjoy, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.
And now we've arrived at what is always one of my favorite times during a special broadcast. It's time to talk zombies. And today, we are joined by lead writer Craig Houston and expert game designer Kevin Drew. Gentlemen, welcome. Craig, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, John. It's always nice to see you and always nice to have these little conversations.
Kevin, thanks for joining us. How you been?
I've been doing real great since the 3.5 main quest, and I'm glad to be here talking about what's next. Well,
let's just jump right into it. And Craig, let's start with you. And let's get into a bit of a recap. Bring us into Season 4.
Yeah, we introduced our first main quest in Outbreak back in the back half of Season 3. And that certainly began to set the stage for where the story is going right now. Maxis went behind Weaver's back a little bit. Together with Ravenov, led the players on a kind of very fitting for Black Ops, unauthorized operation, where we were kind of behind enemy lines and Outbreak and dealing with the threat of the reality inversion warheads, which they dealt with. I think everyone's seen that they've dealt with that quite well. No spoilers. But now, we're very pleased to announce that Season 4 is going to kick off with another Outbreak main quest. And this one is probably going to be having even bigger ramifications on the story moving forward, as well as introducing, you know, some fun new gameplay and areas. And I think Kevin's probably better placed to speak to some of that than I am.
I'm excited to announce an exclusive region to Outbreak, which is Zoo. A very iconic, creepy atmosphere. You've got an entire Russian zoo that's been abandoned and zombies are now all over it. Thankfully, the animals were evacuated or ran off before the outbreak really started to grow there. So all you'll find is some dead fish and our resident plague hounds and hellhounds.
Tell us about some of the new intel items that players will experience.
We're adding new artifacts and intel to both Outbreak and Onslaught, really pushing the story along, tying into our second main quest that will be premiering in Season 4 in Outbreak and onward into the next map.
When players complete the main quest in Outbreak in Season 4, it's going to be a big game changer, and it's going to kind of change the state of play between Omega and Requiem and everyone who works within those groups, and directly lead us into our next round-based map.
See, this is what I like about the zombies interviews, is that you've told me so much, yet so little. I appreciate that. That's, I mean, something that only a communications guy can appreciate right there.
Well, I do my best.
Well done. Well done. Let's talk about what you both are most excited for people to experience in Season 4.
So what I'm most excited about is the second main quest. It's kind of the culmination of what this new mode Outbreak is and how it plays with our classic round-based. You had Firebase Z kind of queuing up this new mode and a massive sandbox where you can play and explore and be challenged. And then the first main quest, we kind of escalated the Cold War aspect of it. We were started to tell more of that story. But this main quest is all about advancing the character's story and where they're going next. So
I think that's really important, Kevin, because, you know, what's really going to be exciting for people is that the events of Season 4's Outbreak main quest are the ones that are going to set up a whole new chapter in the zombie story in our next round-based map, Mauer der Toten. Thematically, it kind of goes to the heart of what the Cold War game across all the different game modes has really been about. This is a struggle not just against zombies, but against East and West. And I think a lot of people have speculated, and a lot of people have, well, if they've listened to the intel, have kind of had their suspicions about where this map was going to take place. And it is going to take place in Berlin. This is the one that's really going to, like I keep saying, change things up in a major, major way, because certain characters' true agendas are going to be revealed, and the forces of good and evil and more evil and other good and other evil are all going to clash, and that's going to kick us off into the final seasons of Black Ops Cold War.
I'm genuinely excited for this main quest out of the gate. Like, we've never released this many quests in a 2-month period. So it's just an exciting time to be a Zombies fan, right? You go right from 3.5 main quest into the season 4 main quest, right into Mauer Toten.
And it's not something that we can talk about, but I'm telling you, Kevin, and the are going to be two of the most popular things we have ever done, because is fucking hilarious.
That's awesome.
In a very, very dry way. And also the with the voice record. I really was laughing so much over the last few days
Also,
recording it.
Got a glow up, just like where it's got when you drink the perk. So
Actually, I think that's probably a great place to end it for today. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, John.
thanks, John.
Like I said, Zombies crew, never a dull moment. And keeping with that tradition, Craig was able to recently catch up with Julie Nathanson, aka Samantha Maxis. Recently, he had a chance to sit down with her and they had a little conversation, a little bit of a walk down memory lane. Here is what they had to talk about.
So it's my great pleasure to sit here talking to the wonderful Julie Nathanson, who has been Maxis for a very long time. Hi, Julie. How are you today?
Hi, Craig. I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. I said very long time, but I don't mean very long time because it's gone by in an instant.
Well, also time moves differently, you know, in the dark ether. So who knows anyway?
Samantha Maxis in this game is a very different Samantha Maxis to the kind of, I don't want to say demonic child, but you know, she certainly had her issues, shall we say. What was it like for you when you first came in to be adult Samantha?
The first session I had to come in as an adult Samantha Maxis, I did not know I was coming in to play an adult Samantha Maxis. I was sort of wearing my combat boots and like a little, you know, like a girl dress and the things that I would do to sort of feel like my young Samantha. And I walked in and you said, guess what? She's an adult now. And I just about fell over.
I think that's quite an important thing to pick up on, really, that was very appropriate that you were wearing those combat boots, because I think the biggest shift is that Maxis is much more in charge of her own destiny in Cold War. And do you think it's fair to say, I mean, she obviously kicked off the story by sending Weaver the end station videotape, but her independent streak and some of those audio logs explaining some of the things that she's been doing in the field, was that a fun transition?
Yeah, I mean, you know, getting to explore Samantha's independent side, you know, she's been through a lot. And she's had many iterations of how she has had agency in her life or lack thereof. And now as adult Samantha in this new time and space, you know, we get to see her explore what could happen. She had been alone in the dark ether. Some of the audio logs that, players may have found throughout that period of time, she was alone and really processing what the hell might be going on. And coming out to be able to talk to people, I think would have been more of a breath of fresh air, except there appeared to be a lot of suspicion. A lot of questions, some of which she was not able to answer. And interestingly, some of which I wouldn't be able to answer, which is part of our process, Greg.
Well, that's an interesting point, because we've talked about this many times. I don't spoil the story for people unless they really, really need to know where it's going. So that there is a kind of logic that if characters are just experiencing things, and particularly after the trauma, there was one big bright spot that really lightened our life lately. Yeah. What was that?
Max has got a dog. I was so excited. She's going through so much, and Weaver comes in and in such a caring way wants to help her feel better. And here comes this giant Rottweiler, which is such a nice touch. And it was also really fun to say the line, not exactly fluffy.
I was wondering about that, because we've not officially named the dog, but last night I was thinking maybe it should just be not so fluffy.
Not so fluffy.
I don't know if we want to commit to that. That's not officially canon yet, anyone. That's just me and Julie talking. But yeah, I think we're getting close to needing to wrap up now. But can you talk a little bit about how excited you are for fans to experience the next round-based zombies map, Mauer der Toten?
I would say I am 25 out of 10 excited for fans to experience Mauer der Toten. There's a lot coming, and I can't wait for the players to experience it. It was pretty cool to experience myself. I'll just say that.
Julie, it's always a pleasure to work with you and to talk to you. I do consider you not only one of my favorite collaborators, but also a very, very good friend. Don't you dare start crying. Thank you so much for everything you've done over the years for this amazing experience.
Thank you. I stopped myself from crying. The feeling is mutual.